Thanks to all our active patrons who have contributed a lifetime of $100 or more to reach Garuk Dong level status.
Here is the list of those special patrons in order of contributions.
If you would like to support our show, check out the Commander Smiths at patreon.com. Ooh, welcome to the Commander Smiths.
We are the Commander Smiths.
I'm Adam Smith.
And I'm Lowery Smith.
Don't worry.
We're cousins.
We are on episode 254 in a new year, and on the new year, we are not going to be taking Malort anymore. No, I'm just kidding. We're not taking Malort tonight because Lowery...
I'm sick.
Yeah, Lowery might just throw it all up. I mean, that might be very entertaining. I'm not going to lie.
I'm not going to.
I'm just kidding.
I've been good. I'm good.
So this is a Malort-free episode. We're going to kind of probably move things pretty quick here. So it might be very similar to last week where we're keeping it close to that hour mark just because Lowry's not feeling the greatest and we don't want him to be struggling on live and all that stuff. So what is that face?
I was just saying that we're 2 minutes late.
Yeah, whatever. No, it isn't late. It's when you're able to log on. That's when we start. That's when it all starts. You're good. All right. So what do we have going on for this episode today? Number 254 in 2023. Happy New Year for all you guys.
Oh, Happy New Year. That's right. That was a thing. That was like 2 days ago. One day? I don't know. It's really hard because like New Year's is like a moment.
Yeah.
Right. And then you don't care about anything prior or after. It's just like that moment. And I definitely was sleeping. So I don't.
You were. See, New Year's is always different for me, or it's always a thing because it's Cindy's birthday. Right. So I'm always having to do things and all that. And for me, it was ringing in the new year, holding back Cindy's hair basically at the toilet. It was.
Oh, no. I was going to ask if your New Year's was girthy, but apparently
girthy,
not.
It was not. It was not girthy. There was no girthiness. It wasn't like a champagne
pop can.
Got the best of her, and she was hugging the toilet, and I laid with her on the floor because she was nonstop puking until like 3-4 o'clock in the morning. It's just because we don't. This is the only time I really drink is on the podcast or anything podcast related. And Cindy and I
champagne ain't here,
and they, her and my neighbor were drinking it like it was water. You know, they were downing it, and because they were like, I love champagne. Well, guess who the two people that puked that night were? It was Cindy and a neighbor, both ones that drank a bottle of champagne to themselves. So you were sleeping for New Year's.
Pretty much.
Nice.
We stayed up until 11. We were watching like music videos on Amazon. Forget what it's called. Exile or something.
Oh, okay.
Exit. I don't know.
And then did you bring in the new year on the East Coast? Is that kind of what you did? Then you're like, this is New Year.
No, we were just watching the music videos, and Kirsten's like, okay, I'm good. I'm like, me too. I was messing around with Cassia, and she was reading magazines.
Of course, you nerd. You were playing Magic stuff. You're messing with Magic cards.
I'm trying to make sure that I'm around my wife a little bit more. So I'm gonna be, goldfishing my decks around Kirsten more frequently.
Sure, she's
we'll
gonna
see how
enjoy
she puts
that.
up with that. Yeah,
right.
We'll see. But I feel like proximity is important.
Yeah,
it's better than me being in the basement. I think.
Right.
I think that's my New Year's. Be around Kirsten, but still have my magic.
There you go. Yeah. So we rang in the new year without actually seeing, like, we were playing games, and so someone was like, shit, 4 minutes, and we don't have cable. We just have antenna TV, because we got rid of that probably 10 years ago. And so we ran upstairs and we like turned it on. Well, we missed it because I couldn't get the TV running quick enough, and maybe because I was a little inebriated, it took me a second. So then I pulled it up on my phone. I'm like, here's the countdown. And so I played it, and the balls drop in, and then it explodes, and it goes 2022. I pulled up the new year for last year. My neighbor's like, this isn't even this year. What are you doing? I was like, I don't know. We got a countdown. Now we kiss. I don't know. It was
now we kiss.
Now we kiss. It was a good time.
That's funny. That's funny. That's a good. Happy birthday, Cindy. Happy birthday.
Yeah. So good times, good times.
Should be more about her anyway.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I went to Benihana, which was, I understand why we never go there because it was a $300 bill, and because I picked up my stepmom's bill too, and we had the kids. Kids' meals were $20 a piece. Like what?
That's expensive.
Yeah, it's insane.
Expensive.
But yeah,
that's all right. I mean, it's fun and it's tasty.
Yeah.
Well, this is
It's
expensive.
super expensive. Well, you were there when we did Cindy's 40th was the last time we went to it. Did the, and that was actually 20. No, that was 2020 because it was before COVID. That was right when it was kicking in.
So are we saying that that's 3 years ago, or are we saying that's 2 years ago?
No, it's 3 years ago. She was turning 39, but I knew I wouldn't be able to surprise her, so I did the surprise a year early. Thank goodness I did, because we wouldn't have done a party, the year after that. So that was 2019 into 2020. So that's 3 years ago. That's the last. Isn't it? It feels like that was like a year ago at this point, doesn't it?
Yeah. No,
it's crazy.
That's crazy.
But yeah, so that was we did that Osaka, which is another place that does that. That was the one where she wore that baby head. Oh, that's actually what my picture for Discord is. It's from when we were at that place. Cool story.
Okay.
Cool story. Hit the button.
I got that. Hold on. Give me a second.
Yeah.
Cool story, bro.
Thank you.
All right. Let's stop bullshitting because I know you don't feel good, so I don't want to risk not finishing the episode with Lowery here. So. What do we have in store? I kind of interrupted that part. What are we doing for today's podcast?
Right, we're going to be doing Stump the Smith Savant from who?
Oh, it is Zero Cool, and I forgot to.
Oh yeah, that's right, Zero Cool.
We're gonna have another card
Cool.
that's from the 30th anniversary kit that I don't know what it is yet.
That's right, but it's going to be from the countdown kit.
Yeah,
30th anniversary.
We'll figure that out.
Thingamajig. Those are all gorgeous.
And
then we have. Main segment's going to be our fave 5, just like favorite cards that were printed in the last year newly. And then we'll probably talk about the new commanders that were released and that we built a little bit real quick. And then we'll go over the matchups for the
winners and the matchups for the, well, I guess it's the Sweet 16 that we're going to have now at this point. So
that happens. Yeah, Sweet 16 matchups, whoever wins for the keyword
ability
countdown tournament.
Yeah, there's some
should be cool.
There's some upsets.
See how this goes.
But I purposely don't have it like numbered, but I'll go over that when we get to that. So that's taking the spot of our staple verses for the next like month or so until we get this done. Because we might bring it back before that when we get down to the finals or semifinals, because then it's really quick. But at least the last couple weeks we haven't done it because there's a lot of stuff to go over. So. And especially, last week is normally our shorter episode. Today is Larry not feeling good, so I'm glad that we don't have that one in there. So, okay, let's get to things. I guess we should mention one thing is we did have some Discord games that we played last week. So people listening, you guys can check those videos out. We played 2 games. What did you play? I forgot what you played again. It was, you got
first game I played Kestia.
Mm-hmm.
And it was rocking until everybody started picking on me. Bunch of meanies. It was rocking.
Wow.
It was awesome.
And then you got your Beamtown bullies.
And then the second game, Beamtown bullies, and I just got straight up whooped.
I felt bad that I didn't. I texted you that later. I was like, I should have let you do your thing instead of killing you because I thought I had it.
It didn't matter because I mean, it's fine to kill somebody and then have the game go on another hour and a half. That's fine. Nobody gets bitter about that. And since I'm there, it's technically the Commander Smith. So I have to stick around. And be, all I had to say was like, bye. And that was it.
And you were gone.
You wouldn't let me go.
We just need your company, Lowery.
I went to bed.
No, and then we had the technical difficulty of a computer dying at the end there. So then it was just like,
that's true.
What do we do? Let's give it a
probably
little
cut off another half hour of the game.
So that was fun. But yeah, they're good games. I got my. What did I play? I played
Perforos against Beamtown. That's how you.
That's how I got you. Quick. And then my first one, was Arcades. Because the Discord was talking about Arcades decks and all that stuff. I was like, I might as well bust that one out. And Arcades did Arcades things. So it was a lot of fun.
And so we had Travis, Renshai in the first game. And then we had Yates and who else joined?
Renshai stayed.
Or did Renshai
stayed? Yep,
okay, that's right. Okay. Nice.
All right. Papa Long said, so Malort is derived from wormwood? Is that... Do you know if it is? Yes. I
What?
don't know.
Oh, wormwood. Yeah, like aquavit is a wormwood, and that's that shit.
Oh,
That
it
like
says
absinthe.
wormwood is a
Yeah.
hallucinogen. I didn't realize that.
Yeah. So I don't think it necessarily is, but there are ingredients in it that can be. That's
Ah,
like absinthe used to be hallucinogenic, and it really isn't anymore. I think they've kind of taken that shit out so that people could still drink it,
I gotcha.
but not have it be like illegal type thing. So,
Gotcha.
or maybe it's like a absinthe light or something. I don't know because we don't really get that here.
Yeah.
Um,
Well, I learned something today. I guess
but
maybe.
but as far as I know, I've never hallucinated off of Malort.
J13, just stop it. You actually like Malort. That is
He does.
there's something wrong
He
with you.
does.
I'm just
That's
kidding.
fine. There's nothing wrong with him.
Oh, and
And the four
Ibukaki
other
said
people.
what all that stuff was it's actually a myth or something. I don't know. All right. Let's I'll
absinthe?
you read what everything comes through. I'm gonna start hitting the tags so we can get moving on all our
Okay.
stuff here. You guys can support the show by becoming a patron. $1 or more gets you in the Discord, gets you playing games like we just did this week, gets you chatting with us. You know, we don't really do any chatting on Twitter, so that is the place to chat it up. Not only with us, but everybody on the Discord. There's lots of like asking questions about decks, just questions in general. Booby talk. No, we don't just do booby talk. That isn't.
We don't do. Yeah, more like nipples. But
but you know, just that's where we chat it all up and everything. So that just getting you a dollar gets you in there. $5 starts getting you proxies each month. The higher you move in that, you can get foil proxies. We are behind, just so those of you that have done requests for proxies, it's just, you know, the holidays and stuff like that. So haven't even gotten to those yet. So
totally not even my fault this time.
Nope, this was mine.
Most of the time, it's my fault.
No, it's not. So yeah, so proxies, the higher you move on that, the foils are freaking fantastic. So check that out. The other way you can financially support the show is by joining us on the live feed and buying us shots and beans. We had actually quite a few beans that we had to take, really hot beans on.
They were spicy.
Yes. And we were reminded why we do not take those on the cast anymore, because
Absolutely.
there was a lot of sweating. And didn't you have hiccups? Did you get hiccups? No, you didn't this time.
No,
I don't think you did. So that's any of the time we are live, all those options are available. So if you just want to have fun with it, that's a way you're donating, even by making us doing shitty stuff. Right now we're not doing it, just like I said, because Larry's under the weather. We're kind of skipping that this week. But if we do get a Commander game in this week, again, we're going to maybe try to fit that in this week or next. You can definitely join in there and donate to make us do tricks. Other things we had on YouTube, the biggest thing, the free way to support the show is to subscribe. We are almost at 900. We're almost 100 away from that $1,000 worth of cards and gear giveaway. And actually, there is an added bonus to that Mr. Josh D donated a couple weeks ago. That'll be just for patrons only. We'll announce what that is when we get closer. But just a side note for not only Josh's part, but our part, be a $5 or more patron, and you'll be automatically entered. So just throwing that out there. So was it $5, right? Or were we higher with the other one? Do you remember? No.
I know I don't remember.
Okay. All right. So anyways, not only do we have that giveaway video, you guys can check that out. The easy way is all you have to do is subscribe, then you're entered. And then actually you're entered when you comment on that video for all the prizes that are there. Every comment, it adds to entering to the new levels. We still only have, I think we have 4 levels unlocked is what we're at right now. I don't have my notebook somewhere else. So once we hit, I think it's 500 next or 400 comments, then I'll unlock the next level. So jump on those videos. It's located below this. If you're watching this video or listening, it is probably the first link that it appears that you can click. So that's how you guys can enter. We have tons of videos. We had curated MTG, which is twice a week. What was our curated MTG as of, well, do you know what it's going to be tomorrow? No.
Yes, I have it shot.
Or do you want to tell me?
It's
your
Order of
one?
White Clay for tomorrow.
Okay, cool.
which is colorless white. It's a 1/4 Kithkin cleric, and you can pay white colorless, untap it to bring a creature from your graveyard of 3 CMC or less into play directly.
Perfect.
So
those are on Tuesdays and Saturdays at this point. You doing all right there, Larry? Just making sure.
All right.
Okay.
All right.
Okay. All right. Move through this fast. All right. So we have spotlight decks. We have gameplay videos. We have proxy time videos. We have. I'm going to be starting a new one. I'm going to try to get it in this week, but we'll see. It's going to be what card gets you hard. So it's going to be different versions of 2 different versions of a card, and which one do you like better? So I'll have a bunch of different videos. So the biggest thing is when you subscribe there, you see all the different things that we are doing on YouTube, not just the podcast. The other way you guys can follow us is check us out on Discord Ultralight, which is Twitter. We post everything we do there. We just don't do a lot of chatting necessarily. If people write messages, we will write back, but
most of the time it's just a GIF.
You just
get a GIF back.
We aren't doing what you're, I guess, supposed to do with Twitter, is write down every thought that you have and then just post it and then let. I
do write down everything there, every thought I have.
So absolutely
blank slate.
Nothing.
Nothing. Just a empty brain here.
Dodgy said card gets you hard. He said he may have a proxy or 2 for that. Yeah, he does. So let's see. That was Twitter. Twitter can also direct message us there. That's also where we have some of the voting for the 32 tournament, the keyword ability tournament. So it's good to follow us there. You can vote in multiple places because you can vote on YouTube as well and Discord. You can also direct message us.
Team Force Walk.
Stop it. You can also direct message us by shooting us an email, and that is at thecommandersmiths@gmail.com, and that is where you can send the suggestions for this. It's time for everyone's favorite game show, Stump the Smith Savant.
I think Zero Cool caught me at a really good time.
Yeah, we'll see.
There's no alcohol in me. I have no idea how I'm going to do this.
All right, if you guys don't know how this game works, I'm going to read the flavor text of a card, and Larry's going to try to guess the card by asking yes or no questions. Every yes, he'll hear this.
Hello, boobies.
Every no, he'll hear this.
Wrong.
He will get up to 5 wrong guesses before he is considered stumped. We have the new era of Stump the Smith Savant. The card has to be in at least 10,000 EDH rec decks, but we have upped the rate at which we add cards. So this is week 4, where normally we'd need 1 more week before we're adding to the ante. Currently, we have the Nicol Bolas from the 30th anniversary. There's going to be another one that we add. I just don't know which one it is. So we have 2 cards on the line at this point. Zero Cool is our stumper. I think that's it. Oh, if Lowry can get everything about the card but can't get what the name is, he will get a initials clue for what the card is. If he still has a clue left, he will get a bonus, very easy helping him clue to help him get it. Because Lowry does I know what the card is, I just don't know what the name.
I get there.
Yeah. So that's where we're at. I'm trying to think if there's anything else. Oh, I've eliminated the chat. Chat can play along, see if they can guess it before Lowry can. And if Lowry gets it, Zero, you can send us this card. So, all right, here we go. Flavor text.
Which one is that?
You'll find out.
Damn.
I know. I fear sometimes like that I'm gonna accidentally say it because I have it written down and I'm reading their name. And so I'm like, and then I'm very cautious of not pulling it up until we get to this point because I don't want to accidentally show you in our pre-cast stuff. So I'm just like, don't do anything with it. All right, here we go.
I'll do my best.
This one's short and sweet. There's no booze in Lowry's system, so we'll see how this goes. Do not fear the lightning. Fear the one it obeys. Do not fear the lightning. Fear the one it obeys.
I mean, I still feel like it's Lightning Bolt.
Is that your guess?
Is it Lightning Bolt?
Hello, boobies.
Hey. Oh, sorry. I meant the wrong one.
Oh, wrong.
Son of a bitch. Are you kidding me? That's such a tease.
I'm sorry. I was excited to get. He was baiting you because he was always guessing lightning bolt. His was always whenever he was on, it's lightning bolt, lightning bolt, lightning bolt. So, yeah.
All right.
Sorry, I got you really excited.
Yeah. No. Jerk. I'll take a clue, please.
The art features a being, like a figure.
Bean?
A being,
Like
not a bean, a being. I don't know, a warrior of
being.
something,
Okay.
avoiding destructive lightning.
Okay. So is this a permanent card?
Wrong, 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 wrong.
Fuck. All right. Is this? Hold on.
And no one
It's
has
close. It's
guessed
close.
it yet,
I'm there.
man.
Is it a sorcery?
Wrong, 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 wrong.
I'm at 3. Is it red?
Hello, boobies.
There's a real hello boobies.
All right. I think I know what it is. I just don't know the name. Let's take a second clue, please.
The text features damage and sacrifice only to opponents. And it's damage and, not or. Damage and sacrifice.
All right. Let's. We know it's an instant.
Is that what you're wanting me to be guessing that?
Hold on. Did I already ask if it's a permanent card?
Was that one of the ones you asked?
I'm pretty sure.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, that was the first wrong because you got wrong as in lightning bolt,
lightning bolt.
and then you got wrong as in is it a permanent, right? And
Pretty
then you
sure
got
that's what I
wrong
said.
as a sorcery.
Sorcery.
Yep, you're right. Okay, so yep.
So it should be.
I'm just making.
instant.
I'm
You're
just
right,
making
you're
sure
right.
that I'm
I
not
was
giving.
flying through this stuff here. All right,
They
it
want to
should
hear the
be-
text again. Do not fear the lightning. Fear the one it obeys. The art features a being. How did I write it? A being avoiding, like it's more of a warrior. He has something in his hand. It's like a warrior, avoiding destructive lightning, and the text features damage and sacrifice only to opponents. Still, no one has gotten it on
damage
chat.
and sacrifice. All right. What were the clues?
The art
You
features.
you just said them. Okay.
Yep. The art features a
Damage
being
and
avoiding
sacrifice.
destructive lightning. The text features damage and sacrifice only to opponents.
Damage and sacrifice. It's an instant. It's red. It might be multicolored. That's a sorcery. I was half thinking that it'd be chain lightning, but it's not. I think that's what originally I was going for. It was chain lightning.
Yeah, that was guessed on the side.
That
there,
took me a
too.
while to come up with, but I now at this point out, there's no sacrifice there. It's a red instant that deals damage and sacrifice. Not shard volley. Let's take that third clue, please.
Okay, this card is in 23,000 EDH rec decks.
I bet.
It was first printed in Khans of Tarkir. It has also been printed in Commander 2016, 2017, 2020, and Double Masters 2022.
Okay.
And it is most seen in Edgar Markov decks.
Yep. That's red, white, and black. That's the CMC is 1 red, 1 white, 1 black.
Is that what you're asking?
It is.
Hello, boobies.
It is an instant.
Hello,
And it
boobies.
deals,
I just wanted to hit it even though you
yeah.
did it before.
It deals 3 damage to each opponent.
Wrong, 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 wrong.
That's 4. Crackling Doom. There we go.
Oh, look at you. Hang on, let me get it.
Hello,
There
boobies.
it is. So it's 2 damage to
damage.
each
Son
opponent.
of a-
Each opponent sacrifices a creature of the greatest power among creatures that player can controls. Good job. And then
Well.
J13 got it right after you. Nice job, Larry. Woo!
I was not there for a while.
Yeah. That was good.
Almost got me 0.
Yeah, it was close.
Almost.
Because you got a lot of like just you thought what it was, you guessing, you got wrong, little, not the big questions, it was like almost easy questions you got wrong.
Yeah.
And then almost put you in a hole there. So that was
I got real close.
Yeah. But yeah, so you guys can send us the suggestions that you guys have. 10,000 EDH rec decks or more.
Good one.
Prefer to email if you're not a part of the Discord. If you are a part of the Discord, you can shoot me a direct message there. Do not send it in a tweet, or obviously not a tweet, but on Twitter, because Larry will see those. Although you just said you don't go on Twitter much, so maybe you won't see
But
it.
I get
you get the
notifications for Twitter messages.
And I will say, as of late,
Generally.
people. I should draw next week's. As of late, people have been sending me the picture, and that's actually probably the better way to do it on email, because if you write it out, you can sometimes see it in the title and everything like that. So, but it's a picture; you can't see it in the email, even if you're scrolling through it. So
That's true.
Next week's stumper is Nicholas D. Genova.
All right.
So
Good luck, Nicholas.
So this is going to be, you'll have 2 prizes on the line. We'll announce what that is later. 0, you can send us that Crackling Doom if you like, signed and all that.
Signed in foil too, please.
Yeah, in foil. Perfect. All right, so now, I don't know. I guess it's the Top 10 Commander cards of 2022. All right, so we have gone through all the sets that came out. Each of us kind of did our own thing, and we picked out our fave 5, actually, but it might turn into a top 10.
Totally. Remember when we were talking about this beforehand? I was like, oh, I should organize that.
Yeah, it was
all I did was pull it from my phone on the list, and then I did not slim it down. So I'm at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 ish. I'll figure it out.
All right, so probably I start is what you're saying.
I have like 2 that I want to talk about, but
okay. Well, let me get started on my first one just so you get a little extra time, because I have some honorable mentions in here if we wanted to get that, but we're trying to burn through
let's
this.
do that at the end.
Yep. So my number 5 is actually one that I use. I've used a couple times because I've been building white decks, but it's Benny Brack's Zoologist, and that is the 3 and 1 white for a 3/2 elf druid. He's legendary. Convoke, and then at the beginning of each end step, if you created a token this turn, draw a card. It's just a card I've used. I have it in Akiri. I have it in Duke. It's better in Akiri because you can make treasures on other people's turns and draw as well. But it's just a nice card. Like the Convoke part, I think, is what really sealed the deal to get this one as one of my top 5, because it's easy to get out. You're tapping down stuff and then you just bring it out for 1. It's just super simple. And white is known along with green, but white is probably what our best token generator in a way, but there's so many different tokens these days that it works in so many different decks. You can, treasure tokens is what I use it in. Not only just, you can use it with creature tokens, you can use it with clue tokens, fucking food tokens, whoever does that shit, but
it's amazing.
There's plenty of stuff. I mean, even Teysa, where Teysa Karlov, like you're sacrificing and you bring in a token for sacrificing, that works with this as well. So there's so many angles to draw on this. And it's not abusive because it's not every token that comes in. It's just some really nice card draw and doesn't seem super threatening when it's in play.
Yeah, I totally see that. That's a cool card.
Yep. So, Lowery, what is your first card?
Let's go with Agent of the Shadow Thieves.
Agent of, this was not on my list at all.
No, but It
Oh,
is
the background, huh?
right. It's more of a general idea of like I think I really like the backgrounds. The
Mhm.
other one I wanted to bring up specifically was Agent and then Guild Artisan, which is the one that creates treasure tokens, 2 treasure tokens when you attack the person with the most life.
Okay.
And I
Hold
really
on.
like those two. But this one's sweet because it's giving your commander Death Touch, Indestructible, and a 1/1 counter on it. And it just like protects your
Oh, man.
commander in combat.
GUILD. It brought up a not
We got,
English
like, a
one.
German version. So and then Guild Artisan is really sweet too, being able to attack the opponent with the most life, creating 2 treasure tokens. It opens up a lot of like it can, Ishin, it's crazy. Same, both are really good in Ishin. Both are really good in Kelsien. Both are they're quite good. They're great in Zangief. I should probably think about them in more in like Beamtown. Like they're really, really cool cards. I think if backgrounds are really good if you are centered around your commander. Not everybody like focuses in on their commander, right?
Right.
But if you're wanting to be aggressive with your commander, they're great ways to gain a lot of value off of it. So
Yeah, I can dig this.
just backgrounds in general,
Yep.
I've really liked playing around with them.
Yep, I at least have one, if not 2 backgrounds. Well, I think I've only built one deck, maybe 2. They've been in the deck since these came out. I put backgrounds in, and they don't even need, they're just. It's pretty sweet. I like the idea. I hope they kind of continue the background stuff. I like the ideas of them as well.
They did a lot of them, so there's a lot to play around with for a while.
All right, my number 4 is one I haven't used, and I still don't own this card, but it's Awaken the Woods. I just think it's a really, really good card. Yes, I understand there is forest in there, but not Forest Walk.
Hashtag Team Forest Walk.
Get out of here. But I just think this is a really super powerful card. I feel like a lot of green decks are going to use this. 2 green and X. It's sorcery speed, which if it was instant speed, it would be super broken. But
that'd be crazy.
Create X 1/1 green forest dryad land creature tokens. They are affected by summoning sickness, so you cannot use them that turn. But it's just crazy. Like, I'll spend a turn and tap out 6 and get 4 mana, that technically you can block with. God, and that's my regret, is saying anything with forest, and then the Team Forest Walk crew just jumps on, and it's ridiculous. They're out of here.
Probably not even watching. And
Get out of here.
They hear the call of hashtag Team Forest Walk.
Their ears start burning.
Yep.
You send out a text. You actually have like a on Discord. Like,
we have our own Discord channel.
It's just Team Forest Walk. If there isn't one, there will be. Okay, so this one I just think is a really good card. I need it to drop in price a little bit because it's plus $20 at the moment.
I did get one through Cardsphere. So
Oh, good for you.
All right, nice, good job. All right, so what is your next card? What do you have any thoughts on Awaken the Woods?
I think I don't have much because it is new and haven't played with it yet. But the landfall aspect of it seems awesome. The sorcery speed is a little but it still seems really, really cool. So I get it.
What is your next card?
That's awesome.
Good.
I felt the disturbance in the forest. That's cool. That was perfect. Perfect.
God, there's too many of them.
I'm gonna go with one that, again, it's a 4th, but it's in the most decks out of the new cards right now. Combat Research. This is 1 blue aura.
There we go.
That one right there. Yeah. And so whenever that creature deals combat damage to a player, you get to draw a card. And then if it's put on a legendary creature, it gets ward 1.
So
and plus
bit of
1,
protection.
plus 1.
I like that.
And so it's right up there, being able to, like, if you have any evasive creatures like my hashtag Team Force Walk Jeddah Dojanen mercenary deck, but it's also on like Rafine, and it just works really well in a lot of different decks. And there are plenty of cards like this out there. But being able to add that protection, a little bit of buff to your commander, I think is really, really nice for as cheap as it is.
Yep, for a 1-drop, for sure.
Yeah. So I've been really liking it.
Yeah, I dig that. Anything with protection is always good. All right, my number 3 is one that I love. Fable of the Mirror Breaker. I probably, in this last year of cards that have come out, I probably have played this the most. Like, definitely in my top 5 here, my fave 5, this is what I played the most. But I've probably, out of new cards this year, this is the card that I happen to play the most because I play a lot of red decks. I just don't know. I mean, I have so many of those, but it just fits in so many red decks because it's kind of ramp on this, for red, which red doesn't have I mean, they have treasures, but this is just nice because it's continuous. You keep attacking with that creature. And then, when it flips over, let me read it really quick, just in case for those that are listening. It's 1 red, 2 colorless. It's a saga. The first level creates a 2/2 Goblin Shaman. Whenever this token attacks, create a treasure token. The second level, you may discard up to 2 cards. If you do, draw that many cards. And then the third is it flips over and it changes into Reflection of Kiki Jiki. It is a Goblin Shaman, and it's 1 and tap it. Create a token of a copy of another target non-legendary creature you control, except it has haste. Sacrifice at the beginning of the next end step. So, the nice thing is what I've done a lot of times is I have that Goblin Shaman out, and then the Kiki Jiki guy, I will make a copy of the Kiki Jiki or not the Kiki Jiki, sorry, the Goblin. So I'm making double the treasures.
Oh,
so it's just, and then, or I attack with one that I don't care about dying, the token, because it's going to die anyways to somebody that, if the one's going to die, I'll only attack with that one. So I'll be able to keep doing that and keep making ramp each turn. I have played this so many times. It's just a fantastic card. And I know a lot of formats use this. So yeah, that's where I'm at with that one. I like that it flips over and the saga doesn't just go away. You have something else that's 3 different things that aren't necessarily on the same theme. They're each doing a different thing. One's going to help your hand a little bit. One's going to help with ramp and then making more tokens and creatures and stuff, which is really nice. So have you gotten this card and played this at all in a deck?
Yeah. So the store that I went to had them in their 50-cent bin to start with. I was like, so I've traded some into CK. I probably have 3 or 4 hanging around, and I tried working them in a lot of my decks. It didn't necessarily fit the themes, but it's a lot of great value when it comes to creating the treasure and then drawing cards and then creating, copies, tokens. Like, it does a lot of work. And I totally see what you're saying.
Yep. All right. Your third card, right? 1, 2, 3. Yep.
I don't know. It's these aren't going to end up in order.
No, that's why I'm saying I'm just giving you what your third one is.
Let's go with Drum Bellower.
Ooh, that was on it isn't on my actual list, but it's on my honorable mention stuff. Yeah, I like this card a lot. 2
and a white for a 2/1 flyer. Untap all creatures you control during each other player's untap step. It's a Seedborn Muse that's cheaper and in white. It's crazy, crazy good.
Mm-hmm.
This one goes in a ton of my decks as well. So I don't know, what is its price now? Under 4?
Yeah,
like 3-ish.
3. I picked up a bunch of these. I think actually from Card Sphere, I was getting trades for this one because I was like, I want the full arts because they are commander cards. They weren't in the set. And same with the full art stuff. So, or the full art you could get not in the commanders, that was in the collector booster stuff. And I believe you could get them in set boosters too, but whatever. This is just a really good card. Yeah, I agree. And it has flying built on it too. So it's a little evasive if you really wanted to swing in with it, which you really don't need to, but
you don't need to.
Yeah. But the cool thing is it's better vigilance because it's you're attacking, they get the untap, but you get to do it on if you have tap creatures and doing the untap stuff,
it's quite good into Cassia. It untaps Kelsian. I want to say this isn't in it's in 3 decks at least.
Yeah.
But it's a cool card.
I dig it. All right. My number 2 is one of our number 1s. It's Plaza of Heroes. Oops, I need an of in there.
Okay.
Did you have that on your list?
I did.
Okay. So Plaza of Heroes it's just a really good land. So it comes in. You can tap it for a colorless. You can tap it for any color. Spend this only to cast legendary spells, not legendary creatures. It's just legendary spells. So that works for your planeswalkers. It works for any other legendary things that you have. Or you can tap it to add 1 mana of any color among legendary permanents you control. So if you get your commander out, now it taps for any color, and you can tap it not just for legendary stuff, which is nice. And then lastly, it has the built-in utility. Like, this is just crazy. It has all this stuff on there.
Crazy good.
3, and tap it, exile it, target legendary creature, gains hexproof and indestructible until end of turn. So I've actually used that once.
Oh, good for you.
To save my commander from being destroyed. I think it was a Wrath, and I was able to save at least one of my creatures from that. So it's just, there is no downside to this. You know, I mean, really, at the worst, you're getting a colorless mana. Most likely, you're able to cast your commander, or once it's out, or whatever legendary is out, is it legendary permanent? So even if you had legendary, your lands wouldn't necessarily work. It's not color identity. Yeah, so whatever. If you have anything else that's out that's legendary, you get that color. So it's pretty dang fantastic. So did you have it?
Agreed.
Was it going to be your number 2?
No. It's in my.
It's just in your big
12.
list. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
All right. Your number 2 or your 4th card, Lowery.
This is. I have like 2 honorable mentions between like 3 cards. And I don't know where to choose, but we'll go with the one that I know that I want to talk about. All right, Grand Crescendo.
I like that one. I didn't make my big list,
white
but
X
I like
instant. Your creature, you put in X amount of 1/1 creatures, and then all your creatures gain indestructible at end of turn. I like instant speed because it can just be white. All your creatures gain indestructible, which for 2 mana is cheaper than the most of the time 3. But also, this can come with an army in a can at instant speed.
Right.
I think it's nice and tricky.
If you just need those extra blockers, they come in and they're indestructible too. So you just
boop,
boop,
makes
boop,
it.
Boop.
It's I think it's a really, really cool card, and I'm sticking to it.
All right, I'm sticking to it. All right, so my number 1 is kind of a little bit of a cop out, a little bit, but not really.
Oh.
But it's a group of cards. It's a cycle.
Right. I'll start writing that down. All right.
It is Boseiju, but it's the whole group of the lands from Kamigawa. Oh, damn it. No, my real one is Urabras, the Heretic Parader. No, I'm just kidding. I wrote it down as a joke to start it with, and I forgot to do the joke. That's why we don't read off of anything. That's why nobody pays us.
Yeah,
I love these lands that they just got introduced. It's just I like the utility lands, like this one in particular. If I had to pick one, obviously Boseiju is the best one. It's the cheapest one to come out, and it's having removal built in on your lands, which is fantastic when you're building commander decks. You need spot removal. And this is built in on it. Doesn't come into play tapped. Like if these came into play tapped, I think they'd still be playable cards.
Yeah.
But the fact that they come into play,
I'm pretty sure you've hit me with Otwara a couple of times.
Yeah, and that would be my
son of a.
And they're all good. I would say the red one is my least favorite, but that's still good. It's making tokens. Is it at the 3/1 tokens?
Yeah.
Those are still decent. You're getting bodies on the board, and you're doing this at basically at instant speed because it's the channel cost. So you do have those blockers, and then the white one is the destroying or doing 4 damage to an attacking or blocking creature. And then the black one I do have too in a deck is recursion for your stuff from the graveyard. So each one is fitting, and the blue one is the bouncing. So each one is fitting its purpose. So it does what that color intends. Green just stands out as the best one, but that's why I kind of take the whole cycle of these because I think this was
all
great.
Good.
Yep.
Yeah.
So, all right, what would be your number 1 card for 2022?
This feels like what was that Strixhaven colorless creature?
Strixhaven
that we both really liked.
Wandering Archaic.
Yeah. So this feels like that card, and I'm gonna go with it. And so I love it. It's only in my horror deck, but I feel like it can go everywhere. Aboleth Spawn.
Yeah, you do like that.
Aboleth.
Aboleth.
Yeah.
I got it.
And so it's Flash, War 2, and basically whenever an ETB happens, you get it.
Oh, yeah.
From whenever an ETB of an opponent comes into play, you get it.
Isn't it just creature, or is that for each thing? You know, it's a creature. Whenever a creature
entering the battlefield under an opponent's control. But I mean, that's kind of what it is. It's going to be a lot of value. If people are afraid of the new Elish Norn coming out, like this is right there, cheaper.
Yeah.
And in blue and stuff like that.
But this doesn't necessarily steal it. It just copies it, and you get to use it as well.
You get it.
Yeah.
You get it.
You get it as well. They still get theirs.
Wood Elves, you're ramping.
Yeah, for sure.
They have ETB, destroy a creature or artifact enchantment.
You get to do it as well.
Do it too.
Yep. Yeah, I like this a lot.
It's insane amount of value throughout a game. Yeah. But I think it's that same thing of like Wandering Archaic of like, it might be a little too vague on what's going on. So like,
but I think this is, I mean, there's a lot.
I think it's quite good.
Yeah. I mean, you got the Flash, which is tricky shit. So you can at least catch one person by surprise. And then later on, it's then, you know, people know what they're getting into and you're just getting duplicates of whatever they're doing. And then it has built-in protection, all for 3 mana. Like that's pretty good. I like it a lot. Yeah. Yeah. So what are some of your honorable mentions that you wanted to talk about?
I'd say Seize the Spotlight.
I did not have
which is red 2 for a sorcery. And then you get to either steal a creature from each opponent, or you get to draw a card and create a treasure token.
Yeah. I like that guy. It got cut from my treasure deck, but it was like, I think the last, if not second to last cut. So it was right there.
Right. I have it in one deck, maybe 2, but like just thinking about it, if everybody doesn't want you to have a creature, you're drawing 3 cards and creating 3 treasures off of 3 mana. And if everybody wants you to have a creature, you get to steal 3 creatures for a turn, which is also crazy. So I think it's quite good. And then my last, what's yours?
No.
I have one more.
Yep, you go for it.
Exalted Flamer of Zinch from the Warhammer, but it's 2, a red, a blue. It's like a 2/4. And then whenever you cast an instant or sorcery, it deals 1 damage to each creature and player. And at your upkeep, you can bring an artifact or enchantment. No, wrong. Instant or sorcery randomly back from the graveyard.
Oh, that is pretty sweet.
Hand. And so it's a body. It's decently cheap. It's dealing damage to everybody.
Didn't you just play this in one of your decks that we just played the other day?
Not the other day.
Like a couple weeks ago? I feel like I've seen.
I have it. I have it in Savant.
Maybe that's where like 3-4 weeks ago when we played. I don't remember when we played before that. Yeah.
I don't know.
No, that's good. I mean,
somebody might have. It's a good one.
Yeah. I mean, if you only have one instant or sorcery, you know which one's being grabbed at the beginning of your upkeep, which is kind of nice. Yeah, I like that. So another one that I use is Professional Facebreaker. I like that one a lot.
That was on my list.
I've used it and it works. It isn't a mirage. It actually does a lot of work. So it's the 2 and 1 red, has menace, 2/3 human warrior. Whenever one or more creatures you control deal combat damage to a player, create a treasure token. And then you can sacrifice the treasure, exile the top of your library, may cast that card or play that card this turn. So if you get lands and stuff, you can play that as well. It does a lot of work. I have it in Akiri. I probably have it in Blanca, but I can't remember for sure if I do or not. But it just, every time I play it, I'm getting value. You know, I mean, I'm making treasures, and then somebody does a board wipe of treasures or whatever, tries to steal them, sacrifice them, draw, or if I have enough mana, that's what's nice with Akiri is then it keeps building up and up and up. So, and then if I had to pick there's a lot of red stuff in here. I really did like the new Sheoldred. I haven't been able to play her yet, so I don't really want to talk much on that. Smuggler's Share was kind of a fun card. I haven't played that enough either. I think in theory, the one card that we talked about that you brought up on our last top 10, I feel like this one is going to do, I spelled it wrong. Sardian, and we've talked about it on the Discord
Avenger.
again. Yeah.
Sardian.
I feel like in the long run, this is going to do a lot of work.
I can see that, yeah.
Because the more every year they keep every set they keep making treasures, this is just going to be kind of your treasure hate card or doing a shit ton of damage to somebody that has a lot of treasures. It seems like a good card. I completely missed it before when we were doing our top 10, and you brought it to my attention, and that's how we got that sucker on the top 10. And I'm coming around to this one a lot more. So I
have a couple coming in the mail right now, and so I'll see where it's definitely going in Ishin. But the question is where else does it fit?
I think the hard part of it is dealing with a lot of your opponents. And I don't like a lot of cards that do that, where it's like, this is only good if the opponents have this and this and that, but people play enough artifacts that this is going to always do work. Cause it gets X plus O until end of turn, where X is the number of artifacts your opponents control. So it's not just the one that you're attacking. It's all your opponent's artifacts. So this can really, really do some work. So I don't know. We'll see where this goes in the next year or two. I think it could.
Dig 'em.
It might be like, and you might have brought this up too when we talked about this card. It kind of reminds me of the dwarf that gets treasures when you cast instant and sorcery spells. You know what I'm talking about? Where he gets almost like.
Yeah. From Strixhaven.
Yeah. So it reminds me of that card. That one was an uncommon. This one is a
Stormkilled
artist.
Yeah. Stormkilled artist.
Yep. So it reminds me of that, but that one was uncommon. This one is a rare. So this one could go up a little bit faster. And in fact, it's already over $3. Well, you can get it for $1, I guess, at this point. But I could see this one being a $5 plus card down the road.
I can too. Yeah. I think it's a really nice, cheap, aggressive card.
Yep. Okay, so we're at 53 minutes. We should get to the last and final bit here. I might as well just start it with that whole thing.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the main event.
All right, I'm not even going to hit the rest of it. So I'm going to get to our whole slideshow. All right, so if you guys don't know, if you haven't heard us because you've been on vacation, we started the keyword ability tournament, and Lowery and I drafted 32 different keywords, and last week was the first week that voting. It's that we had to vote on this. So Lowery, I'm not going to show it until after where your opinion is on where you feel this went, but our first matchup, as you can see at the top there, was Team Forest Walk versus Ninjitsu. Who do you think won, and what percentage do you think it won at?
I'm truly worried about it, but I think my hashtag Team Forest Walk acolytes came out and voted in force, but I'm going to say it's like a 60-40.
You are correct. Forest Walk won, but it was 71% for Forest Walk. So congratulations. Yes. Forest Walk is moving on. All right. Next matchup was Trample versus Proliferate. Where do you think this sucker ended up?
I think Trample probably could have taken this one. I don't know. It might have been really close. So like 50-40.
Our first upset is Trample. You are correct. It's 72%. So far, 72%. People like that Trample, man. All right. Death Touch and Lifelink. Where do you think this ended up?
I think Lifelink has a good shot of winning. I think that one probably wins. Everything seems to be going 70s, so 70-30.
Actually, Death Touch took it, so that was not our upset. Yeah, Death Touch won with 68% of the votes.
Okay.
Next matchup was Undying versus Extort.
I think Extort wins this. Close. 50-40.
59% upset for Undying. Took down Extort.
Oh no.
So you have two upsets on your side of the bracket at this point. All right, the next matchup is Goad versus Flash.
Oh, I think Goad takes this one.
You think Goad takes it? Where do you think it's at with percentage wise?
I hope Goad takes this one. 60-40.
Oh, Flash, another upset. 55%. So that one is definitely our closest one. I'm actually surprised. Goad was right there. I thought Flash was going to be an easy one there, even though it was a lower seed. But
people love goading,
yeah.
but people also hate goading.
Yeah.
So
all right, our next matchup is Indestructible versus Storm. Do you think our degenerate combo players took this out, or do you think Indestructible pulled this out?
I think Indestructible takes this one pretty handily. 80s.
You're right. Indestructible at 68% of the votes takes down Storm. Okay. We got two more on your side. So we have Overload versus Riot. Where do you think we stand on that?
I think Overload takes this one, but I think it's close, potentially.
You are correct, but Overload blew it out. The biggest blowout with 81%.
I'm way off on all these percentages.
Well, I think Riot is kind of a new thing that people don't like. It's
been around for like 4 or 5 years now.
But you know what I'm saying? It's like you don't remember necessarily what it does. I mean, it's a better haste, and that's foreshadowing to what we're going to get to in a little bit here. And then the last matchup, the hardest one on your bracket, Banding versus Scry. Where do you think this one ended up?
Scry takes this one heavily.
It's not heavily, but it's at 70%. I mean, that is still heavily.
Sons of bees.
70%. All right. So now we move. You had 3 upsets on your side of the bracket.
Only 3?
Yeah.
Like more.
A number 9 took down an 8. A number 13 took down a 4. And number 14 took down number 3. All right, so we move to my side of the bracket, and it's not really our brackets. It's just our top picks were on each side. So that's why we did it.
Yeah.
Landfall versus Horsemanship.
Landfall takes this heavily.
75% for Landfall.
What shit? That's way closer.
I know it is. I was like, well, there's a lot of Horsemanship. All right, the next one is Connive versus Unblockable.
Probably Unblockable.
Unblockable Close. Was 64%. So that's a little closer. 64% of the
You're
vote.
wrong, but Unblockable. I can see it in winning. Yeah.
All right. Split Second versus Cycling.
I think Cycling takes this.
Cycling. Where do you think it's at?
It's probably pretty close. 50s.
You're right. 51%, but it went to Split Second. 51%. I'm trying to remember. This was the one that's real close. Like 2 vote difference. That's how close that one was 2 vote difference. So voting matters, guys. 2 votes.
Voting matters. Get out and rock the vote.
Myriad versus Double Strike.
I'd say Double Strike wins this one.
You were correct. 81%. That was a big one for Double Strike. This one's a tough one. Infect versus Ward.
I would guess that Infect wins this. Probably the 60s.
This was also a tight one. How close was this? 1 vote difference goes to Ward. Upset. The first upset on this side. Yeah,
there we go.
Ward takes it down.
I did not expect that.
Protection versus Exalted.
Protection should win that one. Handily.
And you're right. That is our biggest win there. 91% for Protection over Exalted. Okay. Here was my foreshadowing. Haste versus Evoke.
Haste probably takes this one pretty strong too.
And you're correct. 88% for Haste. And then the final matchup on my side of the bracket is Vigilance versus Hexproof.
Hexproof probably takes this pretty handily as well.
And you're correct. Well, 71% for Hexproof over Vigilance. Okay, so that is so my side had 1 upset, which was the Ward taking down Infect. So number 14 taking down number 3 Infect. So both of our number 3s got not killed, but just got knocked out.
Knocked off.
Yep. So, all right. So here comes the matchups for this week, and voting will start.
But you took like half my half my bracket, half my side.
You got 4.
Almost.
Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5-3 on. Yeah.
That's not
good. All right. So here are the matchups for this coming week, and voting will start on Tuesday. So we'll get these going live tomorrow. Okay. For those of you listening on Wednesday or anytime after that, you will get voting until Sunday because I have to make these brackets again before the cast. So matchup number 1 is going to be Forest Walk versus Trample.
Oh, shit. I'm worried.
That's going to be a tough one.
I'm worried.
That's going to be a tough one. It depends on how Team Forest Walk gets out there. We'll see how
it does. Yeah. It does. It truly matters.
All right. Matchup number 2 is Death Touch versus Undying. This is a unique one. You have something
that's good because you're going to knock off your own guy no matter what. That's good.
No, you had Death Touch.
Did I?
Yeah, you had Death Touch. I had Lifelink.
Oh.
Yeah. So, and also on these, I have the favorite on the left and the underdog on the right. I haven't been putting numbers of where they are seated because I kind of want people to kind of just vote for what they actually feel instead of like, I don't know, I'm going to vote for the underdog or whatever. So that one should be interesting because it's Death Touch destroying creatures. Undying is like surviving through one Death
protecting.
Touch. So it's a little bit of protection there.
That should be interesting.
Paul wrote, the Packers played like they had Forest Walk yesterday. That's a good one. All right, the matchup number 3, Indestructible versus Flash.
I
think I'd probably
would go Indestructible.
I think I would too. Even though Flash is the one that my number 14, I like it. I like protection of stuff, so that's where I'd go. Matchup number 4, the last matchup on your side, Scry versus Overload. Where would you go on that, Lau?
That's a pretty good one. I would. I don't know.
I think I would take Scry.
Scry?
Yeah,
it's probably Scry.
Card advantage
We're
stuff.
there.
I kind of like that. Yeah. All right. The first matchup on my side, matchup number 5, Landfall versus Unblockable.
I think Landfall takes that.
Yeah, well, I mean, that would be your number 1 choice if you weren't trying to snub me.
Yeah.
All right, the matchup number 6 is Double Strike versus Split Second. Ooh,
I think Double Strike takes that.
Yeah, I do too. I agree with you on that one. Number 7 is Protection versus Ward. It's like protection and protection in a way. I think I would go Protection because in my eyes, it's also you can like makes it an unblockable in a way, for colors and all that stuff. And so that one will be interesting. I'm surprised that Ward made it where it's at. So this should be an interesting battle. I think the fact that it can counter, if they don't realize it, I think that helps Ward quite a bit. But I think Protection will take that one. And the last matchup is Hexproof versus Haste. Ooh.
I'd say Hexproof.
Yeah.
I think that's going to be a really close one, though. That's good.
But here's my question. If let's say we did the voting here, and then let's say Hexproof wins 60% or maybe it's closer or whatever, 55%.
Okay.
But if you switched Haste with Riot, I feel like Riot would lose worse because people don't know it as well. I honestly think that's what would happen. I kind of want to test it out and have both of them there.
You did Haste versus Riot?
Well, I think people would choose Haste. Like, why would anybody choose Haste if you had Riot there? It wouldn't make any sense.
I think it's just card selection. Like, what cards are you playing that has Riot? And that's just that one Rhythm of the Wild or whatever.
There isn't a lot out there.
And then plenty of cards that allow Haste to happen.
So here's the look of the bracket. Each side. Here's Lowery's side, Forest Walk, Trample, Death Touch, Undying, Flash, all that stuff on that side. And then we got the right side with Landfall, Unblockable, all that. So get out there and vote. We're gonna, like I said, have the voting start tomorrow. That should probably do it for the podcast. We got to cut this. Hey, we're right at that hour mark. We did that last week.
We did good today.
Yeah, so
did good. Apparently, we're 2 minutes late today, so we're only a minute 3. Or an hour 3.
There we go.
Ain't bad.
All right, guys, that should do it for this week. We will catch you guys next week.
Thanks for listening.
See ya.
Bye.
See ya.
I love boobs. I'm talking tatas. I love boobs. I'm bonkers for honkers. I love boobs. Thanks for the memories. I love boobs.
Oh, that way. Cover me.
I was drinking a San Pellegrino. It's a carbonated, sparkling, natural mineral water, and totally refreshing.
0% alcohol. I'm drinking a Dunkel or chocolate Dunkel like last time. So all right,
Not too bad. All right.
cool.